Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome onto the shop today. I recently was doing a project where I had to do some welding, kind of got fed up with the kind of welds that was going on. So my welder is I got the flux-core welding wire in it. Alright, so let's just start from the beginning. Here is my welder. Is a Century 90 amp MIG feed or wire feed MIG welder, and as you can see here, it is gas or gasless operation. So whenever I bought this, it was super cheap, like I think maybe $50, and it came with this roll of wire in there, and I had tried to weld and I wasn't getting good welds. So I went to Harbor Freight and picked up a flux-core the flux welding wire, and have been using that for a little bit, and it does okay, but the welds don't look anywhere great. I know how to weld. I do it at my actual job, and the welding wire is just completely different, not a setup that I'm used to, and I don't really like dealing with it and all the slag that's on there, stuff like that, and having to chip away some of the welding stuff that's on there. It's just a pain in the butt. So to fix my issue that I want to do, I decided the other day to go ahead and jump feet first into changing this all up to a gas system. So I went out to my local my welding shop and brought the welder with me and said, look guys, here is the welder. I want to do a setup for gas. So they set me up with a tank. Besides the tank, I had to go pick up a couple other items, and one was a regulator and a MIG nozzle to help control the gas coming out of the tip of the gun. Another thing that is different between the flux core wire and the solid wire is my setup of my machine. So I'll end up having to change this wire right here, move this one down to there, and this one up to here. I will also have to change out the wire. Now I'm not sure if this wire is flux core or not. I might try it just to see right at the beginning and see if it is or not. It's a little bit thinner than the wire that is on there right now, but there's no labels on here whatsoever. So I might try that to see if this is some solid wire or if we have to do something different. And I also have to get all of this set up as well. We're gonna go ahead and switch up the wires real quick. That way that is all completed. Alright, now we'll move on to the next one. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and get the bottle installed. This is a 40 CU bottle. They had a smaller one, but he said that I'd be back very shortly after trying to get a bigger bottle. So we just went ahead with the bigger bottle. So I had to buy this bottle outright, and now from now on I'll be set for my bottles. I'll be able to just go ahead and take it and exchange it, and the exchange costs $50. So this is more expensive. This is probably the most expensive part of the conversion from gasless to gas, but it'll hopefully be worth it. Alright, so next up is the regulator, and they had one at the air gas place I went to, but that was like $120 or something like that. Maybe I think it was even more. But I decided to check out around, and Harbor Freight seemed to have really good reviews with theirs. So here is the regulator right here. Let me get you guys up. We have to remove the tab, make sure that this is closed. We'll remove the tab hopefully in one shot. and then this will thread in there. And I read a lot of reviews, and this one had really good reviews on it, so that's why I went ahead and bought this one. It was like $70. Maybe try to get something to tighten that up. So I got this all tightened up, but one thing I noticed is that the bottle is leaning backwards, and it's not very stable because it's leaning backwards because it's hitting right here. So I think I'm going to try to notch out this section and allow the bottle to kind of settle in there a little bit better. This bottle must be bigger than what this tray was planned for, so we're going to do a little modification real quick on that. I picked this guy up yesterday as well with all the welding stuff. This was $20 on its tool clearance sheet, or like a little table thing. It's a battery powered angle grinder, so this is gonna be the first time I'm using it. I got a cutoff disc in here, and we're gonna see how it does. Alright, so now we'll check and see how this fits in there now. Ah, that's much better. You guys see how much, let me see if I can get it in there. See how much overhang there was? So now we can go ahead and put the chain on. We'll go ahead and try to get it nice and tight. The next step is to attach the actual gas hose, and this has a connection piece on there already, but we don't need that. We've got one right here, so we'll go ahead and attach the hose just like so. We'll go ahead and get that all tightened down. No, that's way too small. 11/16. Yep. Alright, so now that connection is nice and tight. Next, we're going to go ahead and switch out that wire and see if I need to buy some new wire or not. Gotta loosen up the feed. Loosen that up. We gotta straighten out that cable. This is gonna be way too difficult. And this is the tip that I have for the flux-core. And as you can tell, it's got a very narrow tip on it. And this one is much wider. It allows the gas to escape. So let's finish up with this wire real quick, getting distracted. I said that this wire was thinner than the flux-core wire. This flux-core wire with a digital gauge is showing to be about 0.34. So it uses a 0.035 tip. I believe that's what you call it. Yeah, 0.035 tip right here, and then this other wire has no label on it, so I used the gauge and it's at 0.2 or 0.023, and I happen to have that nice tip set that has one of those tips in there. So we got to switch out the tip on the welding gun. And I've also tried it real quick just to make sure that it slides in through the tip of that nozzle, and it does. So we are good on the nozzle tip now. So we'll replace this after we add that and feed it through. Before we start feeding wire, I think I also have to change out this feed wheel. So this feed wheel, I had it set for the 0.030 and 035, and I need to switch over to the 0.024. So we're going to flip it around, put it back on, put the clip back on, and then switch out the tip real quick on the nozzle, the contact tip. So we have this tip right here, and we need to switch it for this other one. Just like that, and now we're going to be able to cut this wire. We need to trim it down and then put it in the feed wheel. And put that down. We'll tighten this down. Alright, so I got the tip coming out, and it hit the contact tip that we installed. So I'm going to try to put that in right now. Because it should be able to slide through. Yeah, I'm not getting any kind of resistance. So it may be because it's been curled up for so long. There we go. So as you can see now, we have some of that wire sticking out. So now after we got that done, we have this tip for the gas, and it needs to go on. And I have one issue here because this does not like to sit on here. So I'm going to have to figure out something to do with keeping this on and keeping it kind of squared up. So what I decided to do was go ahead and just use a file and kind of creep up on the proper fit. Because it's wide where the sides are, because that's where a wrench goes, but it's really big on the curved parts. So we're getting very close to it. So we got the tip on. I just barely took a little bit too much off, so the tip was a little bit wobbly. I had to put some electrical tape around here. I'm going to end up ordering a new tip in here and trying to figure out if I can get one to match these cones right here, whatever you want to call it, the little gas tip, and make it a lot easier to change out and stuff like that. But hopefully this will work for right now. All this is doing is pretty much keeping the gas that flows out of the tip and helps blow out any of the oxygen that's around here to keep a very clean weld. Okay, guys, so we got two scrap pieces of metal. I don't even know what these were from. I know what the square was from, but I don't know what the bar was from. And I'm just gonna go ahead and just see what's gonna happen with this. Like I said, I don't know if this is the correct welding wire or what's gonna happen. So what I need to do first is turn on the gas. Alright, so what we're gonna do first is turn on the gas. And then we want to go ahead and turn this knob in, and that'll increase the pressure that I'll have at the nozzle. So I'm trying to get the settings all adjusted correct while I'm doing this. So I thought it would be kind of boring just seeing me make a bunch of passes trying to get this thing all dialed in. And so I'll show you guys what I've got going on here. So this, you guys can see it's still very hot. So this is where I first started, and it was sputtering out very bad. And I adjusted my settings down because the speed was going way too quick. And I think I have setting up to 9, and this is where I'm at right now. My heat is on a 4, and then my speed is also at a 4, and my settings right here show that I should be at a 4 and a 5, so I might give that another round. Alright, so it's not perfect, but it looks like about a 5 is about where I want it to be. Let me unhook the ground and turn the welder off. There you go, here's a better shot of it. Right here at the beginning is starting to spitter and pop again, and I think it's just because the metal isn't clean. It's got this like coating on here. The other side was cleaner. But as you can see, as it worked down, it did get a lot better, a lot smoother. I was building up off of the actual puddle of the weld. So that's this last run. And here's the one previous of it. I built up a couple times on that end. That's why it looks so thick. There is the electrical tape on that nozzle, and it also didn't melt like I was worried about it doing. So that might be okay for a little bit until I get a new nozzle. Was it worth it? Was this whole gas conversion worth it? I definitely think so. Before, my welds were I thought they were terrible with this thing. I absolutely hated the welder. I mean, despised it. I hated trying to use it. Nothing I did worked too good. I'll show you guys a sample from a long time ago, from whenever I first started welding, and I first got it. Look at that. That looks hideous. The metal is rusted now, but it you can see right here how it looks all sputtery and spotted. And I just never could get the hang of the flux-core. I've gotten a lot better at it and had to mess with the settings a lot trying to dial that in, but I never could build off of weld, and it's just different. With the gas, you pretty much, like, as far as I can understand it, you push your puddle across, and with the flux-core you pull it. And even pulling it and stuff like that, I've tried different ways, tried different things, tried all sorts of stuff, because I didn't want to hate the welder, but it was very frustrating for me, and it was really getting aggravating. I actually tried to sell it one time, and the sale fell through. The guy never showed up. I'm glad I have kept it, because this is going to be a good thing as long as I keep the metal clean. Cleaner the metal, the better your welds are going to be, regardless of what welder you have. So I am very happy that I made the conversion. It was kind of pricey, but in the long run, the tank will only be $50 from now on to fill up. It's got plenty of gas in there. It should last quite a while. If you guys want to try, if you guys are struggling with your welds and you guys are using a flux-core welding material, try it out. Just think about it. Take your pros and cons about if it's a good conversion for you guys. For me, it was. I'll be able to use it on lawnmowers and stuff like that, on the Model A when I'm welding up things.
Right here, Alex.
Appreciate you guys watching. If you guys have any questions, comments, leave them down in the in that box down below, and I'll write you back. If you guys enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it that thumbs up. If guys know what to do with that. And if you guys are new, welcome. Hit that subscribe button. I'm sweating like crazy. It is hot out here. And welcome to summertime. Appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you on the next video. So I am very happy that I made the conversion. It was kind of pricey, but in the long run, the tank will only be $50 from now on to fill up. It's got plenty of gas in there. It should last quite a while. If you guys want to try, if you guys are struggling with your welds and you guys are using a flux-core welding material, try it out. Just think about it. Take your pros and cons about if it's a good conversion for you guys. For me, it was. I'll be able to use it on lawnmowers and stuff like that, on the Model A when I'm welding up things. Appreciate you guys watching. If you guys have any questions, comments, leave them down in the in that box down below, and I'll write you back. If you guys enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it that thumbs up. You guys know what to do with that. And if you guys are new, welcome. Hit that subscribe button. I'm sweating like crazy. It is hot out here. And welcome to summertime. Appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you on the next video.